Hello everyone, in today's video I'll show you how you can write simpler Python code, really simpler code in any language for that matter, and how you can take code that's like this, complicated, with ifs inside ifs inside ifs, and you can very easily turn that code into something super simple without a single embedded if by using one trick and by just using that trick again and again. And I call this if inversion, and let me just show you what that's about. If you're not familiar with me, I create a lot of videos mostly about Kubernetes and about troubleshooting Python applications. I also work in an open source project called robusta.dev, and robusta is a type of coffee bean. I've been told it's the world's second best coffee bean. So here we have a Python function that calculates the number of coffee beans, coffee cups that you're going to drink, and it takes a few inputs, and it just does a bunch of ifs on those. So I'll walk through this and focus on it the first time for the first if, and then we'll speed through it afterwards. I'm checking here if the bean type is equal to robusta, then I'm doing certain logic. I'm going to update the number of cups or whatever. And if that isn't the case, then I'm just going to say you chose the wrong type of coffee. We're only serving robusta today. Return 0. Now, the trick here that's if inversion is essentially this part of code here. It does very little, so I'm going to put that first up here. And by putting that first up here, then I can then just have a return, and I can avoid all the embedded stuff. So let me show you what that's like. In VS Code, there's actually an option here. I can just click Alt return, Alt enter, and it'll say invert if condition. And this code is 100% equivalent. All I've done is I changed the order. So if I go back and forth, first I was checking if the bean type is equal to robusta. Now I'm checking if the bean type is not equal to robusta. So the code that was down here at the bottom, print you chose the wrong type of coffee, that goes up here to the top. Now so far we haven't done that. But if you look now, then here I'm doing return 0. And this entire code, after this, there's really no need for an else. Because if you were inside this, you returned. And if not, then you're just continue executing the code in the function. So I can just go here, and I can unindent that. So this code now is 100% equivalent. And if you're not clear why, then just take a few minutes, rewind back and forth, and see for yourself. So I can just do that trick again here. Here we have the same thing. Just going to hit in PyCharm invert if condition, inverted. Here we have a return statement, so this entire thing doesn't need to be indented. Same thing over here. This is like a really simple example. Maybe it's easier to see. But if you're using Kubernetes, we say robusta.dev is for Kubernetes, so it takes some extra coffee, and we multiply your number of cups by 2. And if not, then we just return cups. So we can make this simpler by inverting that. If you're not using Kubernetes, we just return the cups. And now we can continue on with more complex logic without the embedded if statement, or without the else. So that's all there is to it. I'm just applying the same trick again and again. I'm just going here again and again, and I'm just doing invert if condition, and then I'm de-indenting stuff. And this is my #1 trick for writing shorter and more concise code. By the way, if you do stuff on Kubernetes, or in general if you use Python applications, I just gave a talk at the CNCF Jerusalem, the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, about cool tools to troubleshoot problems in Python applications like memory leaks, high CPU usage, and non-breaking debuggers. The audio is not so great, to be honest, so we'll have to re-record this. I have an upcoming talk with the Microsoft Reactor, I think in Stockholm, that will also cover this, so please check that out and check out my Twitter for links. Those will be available soon. And this is a lecture here with 3 different speakers, so I start talking at 1 minute, a little bit before this, 1 minute, 1 hour, 8 minutes, and something like 30 seconds, maybe a little before. So if you're interested in troubleshooting Python applications, finding memory leaks, figuring out why your code is using high CPU, troubleshooting it in production or attaching a VS Code debugger in production, then please check out this video, and thank you for watching.